My beard is almost as white as the snow. Yeah, it's a funny thing, and I'll probably let a few people get in here before I actually start bullshitting for real. But we're having problems with the L8000, right? The Ford L8000. Yesterday, Timothy took a load of hay to the auction. He had to do it. So I got this alfalfa that has malburn on it, and it's good alfalfa. The problem is it's got malburn. It just heated a little bit or discolored. You know what if you know what malburn is, you know. So he took that to the auction, and he gives me a call. I was just about ready to leave to go up to get a load of coal. I need to buy a ton of coal, and I buy it in bags. I pay too much money for it, but if you've ever dealt with coal, um, I don't have the little dump bed on the truck anymore, so I just have to shovel it off the truck, and it's a pain in the ass. And so I decided that I would go ahead and buy bagged coal. They come in 40-pound bags. They got handles on them. You can take them off the truck, put them in the house, and life is good. So I did that. And 12,000 bales. Oh yeah, we're gonna put 12,000 bales in there. Probably am gonna fill it, just to prove you motherfuckers wrong. Because I'll tell you what, we'll keep count. I'm gonna buy a new counter for the baler, and we're gonna bale 12,000 bales of alfalfa and put into that barn. And I don't care what any of y'all think. And then I'm gonna take them out about this time of year when they're, well, I'll sell them right along. I'm not gonna not sell them. But what tractor was on the auger? 4450 is on the auger. I know somebody was concerned that I bought a new tractor. I did not buy a new tractor. Um, I put the breather pipe back on about a couple of years ago, and nobody's noticed it until now, which I thought that was kind of funny. So anyway, it's funny. Anyways, the truck had the exhaust pipe dropped off of the turbo. It wore out. So what had happened was the hanger for the muffler had failed, and that muffler was hanging down, and it worked and worked and worked until it took the flange off of the down tube. How do you like the New Holland hay inverter for alpha? Great. They're great. The problem is it's about 1/3 the size that it needs to be. That's why I bought two of them. Um, you it's just a single row at a time. But this year I'm going to be baling alfalfa a little differently. Can you? Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to do things a little bit differently this year, because we don't know what the weather's going to be, and I can go and I can mow 20 acres of alfalfa and get it baled, and then bale and do it again the next day, just depending on how the weather goes. And I can make damn nice alfalfa, believe me. I did. I make it. So if I mow it all in a day, then I have that problem of it bleaching because I'm not putting it in a big bale because of the malburn. It'll burn in there. We can't get it dry. I couldn't get it dry enough to keep it, even though I even salted that hay. And in the little bales, I salted it, and they were perfect. They were just beautiful. So we used coal in our living room, wood stove. The stove was ambidextrous like that. Well, they're nice stoves when you do that. But anyway, so the exhaust pipe come off of the turbocharger, and it's right at Tim's feet. And it was filling the cab with fumes, and it was noisy, and it just plain sucked. So poor Tim, he had to finish going to the auction. He took the pipe off, ripped it off of there. He had to stop at a gas station and buy some tools to disconnect the muffler that we had put on there, because it's a 5-inch muffler. He had to disconnect the muffler, and then from there, he had to strap it up to the truck, and then bring it, and then take it to the auction. And obviously, after the auction was over and he delivered the hay, he had to restrap everything down. And done is it had wore the flange off where it attaches to the turbocharger. Well, that's a Ford L8000 from 1992, and it's not exactly an on-the-shelf part that you can just go buy at Ford, because Ford hasn't serviced their trucks in a long time. So when Ford sold out the heavy truck division, they went to when they sold out the heavy truck division, it went to Sterling. So I would have to go to Sterling, but Sterling is gone. So it's not Sterling even, it's Freightliner, because Freightliner bought Sterling and then shut it down. That was just the end of it. But you can still get parts from Freightliner for the Sterling Ford. So anyway, I went online and I got truckpipes.com or whatever, US Truck Pipes USA. They had one on there for 200 some odd dollars. So I ordered it. But I need to take another load of this hay because I need shed space. I got tractors sitting out in the weather and it's pissing me off. So I need this shed space. Well, all right, Wesley, you gotta have shed space. So let's get this all straightened out. So what I'm doing, so I took that pipe and I made a new flange on it with two ball peen hammers. And I used the big ball peen hammer as an anvil. And I just worked my way around until I got a nice flange all the way around. And from there, Timothy came and helped me put it all back together again. I got a 166 this fall, looking forward to using it this year, hoping to be better than using the tedder and rake. Now, tedder just knocks the leaves off. The inverter does not knock the leaves off. So, and just be mindful when you do it. Wait until it's pretty crispy on the top before you invert it, and make sure you got a good sunny day coming that day, because you can invert it twice, but the reality is once and you're done. Because once you invert it once, you got that, it starts to bleach everything out. Right, so you don't want it to be bleached out. So just be mindful of the inverter. But anyway, what I did this morning while I was looking for this exhaust tube, I typed in 1992 Ford L8000 exhaust. And I see that a YouTube video pops up. And son of a bitch, it was me 16 years ago putting that pipe on there. And I even said what it cost. It was over 400 bucks for the muffler, the down tube, and the elbow I came across was 400 and some odd bucks. Well, by the time I paid shipping and paid for the shipping for that pipe, just the pipe, no muffler or end spout, it was over 400 bucks. So it probably would be, it's doubled in price in 16 years. I thought that was kind of nuts. Somebody once, weren't you working on buying a farm with the massive barn? I think it's your mom's parents' place. See, did you do that again? You gonna use a kicker wagon still? Yeah, I'm gonna use kicker wagons. I'm gonna tell you why. So, yes, I'm gonna use kicker wagons. And let me back up a little bit. The farm that I'm trying to buy, finances just ain't there. Okay? It's just not there. If you can't cash flow it, you can't buy it. So there you go. That's just the long and short of it, right? That's just the long and the short of it. So anyhow, yeah. And as far as the kicker wagons, okay. So you want to go into full hay production, right? Like I'm gonna do all these little bales. I'm gonna make millions of dollars doing little bales, which you're not gonna do. I mean, you can handle millions of dollars in little bales, it's fine. But there's a problem with it, right? It's like, okay, you can do a little baler, one little baler, if you work really hard with yourself, you do 60,000 bales in a year. You really could. I mean, that means you're starting in May and you're ending in September, October. You'll do 60,000 bales. 2 balers, 80,000, because you still got to unload these things. Now, you step it up and you buy an accumulator. So you buy an accumulator. Then you either have to have a loader tractor or a skid steer. And that's all well and good, right? Then you go from the loader tractor to skid steer. Then you got to buy a way of getting it off the field. And that also entails, if you got to travel any distance, if you're on the home farm, it's no big deal. But if you got to travel, say, 10 miles, 5 miles, 4 miles, 2 miles, skid steer ain't going to do it. Because you're going to have a loader tractor. And you're going to have somebody running that loader tractor. And somebody running the truck with the gooseneck. Because everybody's got to have a gooseneck. If you do it with the large hay wagon like I've got for the big squares, and you're just like, oh, okay, I'll take my tractor, I'll put a fast hitch on it so I don't have to get out of the cab. I'll grab these bundles that the Coons or Cons or Coons accumulator dropped out on the ground, and I'll just go and gather them up, and then I'll stack them in a building. Well, you can only go so high, I think. I kind of like the Coons accumulator. I think it's all right. But the thing with those, you still have to strap them. There's a lot of work entailed to that. You got to strap them down. I've seen some guys go with a 3-sided wagon, and they're able to do that. But so you got a pickup truck, at least one. You got a tractor with a loader, at least one. You got the accumulator. You got the baler. And now you can't put it in an old dairy barn. You actually have to put it into a barn, like a hay barn or a shed that's 3-sided or big enough that you can stack a bunch of hay in there. But the whole point is, you are incurring a huge expense just to do more work, right? So I'm set up for big square bales, right? I am. That's just the whole ball of wax. I'm set up to do big square bales. I can make a bunch of big square bales in a day. One big square baler, let's just call it a Crone, or a New Holland if it works, or a John Deere, or a Heston, or a Coon, or a Claas. They call them Claas here, but over in Europe they call them Claas. Any of those balers. It takes 5 small square balers to do the work of one large square baler. So a big square baler is the way to go. Now, in alfalfa, you really have to be Johnny on the spot with that. Preservative, I like salt over hay preservative. Salt is tried and true, the best preservative you're ever going to put on your hay. Now, I know people say, oh, that's antique. Well, you know what works? Salt. I have preserved with salt like 28% hay. Dump it on. And it stays green. It doesn't get malburn or anything. The salt dissolves and goes through the whole entire bale. And it stays green. Looks good. I even was able to do that with these big square bales. They were 28-30% moisture. They were fucking wet. But they're just discolored. They're not moldy. They're not bad. So that's what I got. So personally with the alfalfa definitely 100% needs to be baled into little bales for me to get the maximum amount of profit out of it, and that's what I'm going to do. But I will not be buying a bale baron. There's 140,000 bucks. You know, $140,000. Think about this: $140,000. You're going to put it behind a baler that's maximum you're going to be able to punch through it is 60,000 bales in a year. Maximum. That's all you're going to be able to punch through it. So 60,000 bales. Well, it's 140,000. You know, 140, 60,000, 120. It's $2 and change. It's costing you to produce that bale of hay. It's 60,000 bales. Now you might be able to do more. You might not be able to do that much. It all depends on the year. It depends on the quality of the hay. It definitely depends on the weather. And it also depends on your manpower. So if you get a bale baron, now you definitely have to have a front end loader or two, you know, one in the field, one in the barn, and one at the, you know, at the area where you're going to be storing it. So you're just incurring these huge costs to make hay. So kicker wagons, you know, or bale wagons. Okay, bale wagons. What's wrong with them? You get like 3 or 4 people together. You bale. Just say today I'm going to bale 6 loads. I got 6 wagons. I'm going to bale 6 loads. I have the 9x20 wagons. 9x20s? Yeah, 9 by. I think I got 9x18s and 9x20s. It might be 9x18s. 9x18s and 8x16s. 2 8x16s and 4. Let's see, 4, 5, 6. Yes, and 4, 8, 9x18s. So the 9x18s, you can easily just throwing them in there, put 140, 160 bales in them if you're good at doing what you do. So you go and you do, say, 6 wagon loads today. And then, you know, the next morning, you unload them. You get a couple guys together, you unload them, get them stacked up in the hay mow. By that time, the dew is off the hay. You're back to the field, and you're doing your work. You know, you do that, let's see, 600, you're looking at 1,000 bales. 1,000 bales a day or something like that. Unless you got help already while you're baling, then you can do, you know, 1,500 bales a day with the baler. Not really that big of a deal. It's tough walking through this snow. So, hold on. Yeah, so you've got, just say you make, you know, 1,500 bales a day. 10 days of that, 15,000 bales. All right? That's good work. It's good work, good workout. You're gonna be built like a brick shit house. You're gonna be eating to feed the machine. Hopefully healthy stuff. And you know, and then the reward is you get to sell your alfalfa or whatever hay you're making. Or you do the big square bales like I do, and that 10 to 15,000 little bales can be done in an afternoon, stacked and covered in big bales. So little bales make the most money. Little bales of alfalfa make the most money. And that's just the long and the short of it. Little bales of alfalfa make the most money. So that's what the alfalfa is going to go into. If for some reason it dries out enough and I can stack alfalfa and put it under tarps and cover it, then I will definitely do that. And I think we'll be fine. You know, you're not going to get as much money for it. You get 300 a ton for it here, in big squares, if you're lucky. That load I took yesterday, which was Malburn, I got good money for it. For what I was expecting to get $150 a ton for it, and it was a fair bit more than that. Oh, somebody's trying to get me. I think we hit 70 in East Tennessee today. Oh, really? What? Ever considered a bale bearing? Yeah, bale bearing. Bale bearings, $140,000 investment. You can buy a used one for 100, a real beat one for 80. So yeah, so what do you want to do with a bale bearing? I just got done talking about this. I mean, you're going to be chasing a $140,000 bill, right? You got to have a decent tractor that's got hydraulics enough to run it. Um, you're going to have a decent baler to make consistent bales. Tractors, loaders, trucks, goosenecks, whatever the hell you're going to run. You know, everybody around here seems to like gooseneck trailers. Personally, I don't care. You know, I won't do it. I just, I've pushed the pencil hard enough. I won't do it. Now, if you're a one-man show and you're making, I don't know, even a one-man show just isn't gonna, it doesn't pencil out. It just doesn't. I mean, yeah, you make a lot more hay, but it costs you. It costs you. So, personally, I think the best way to do it in the most efficient way is to get yourself a hay cruiser. It doesn't have to be new. Doesn't have to be diesel. Doesn't even have to have air conditioning. But get yourself a hay cruiser and get those bales off the field. You can punch them out, lay them on the ground. Get those bales off the field and in the building, right? Get them off the field, get them in the building. Hay cruiser will go 40 mile an hour down the road. So you can span that distance. Now, if you have a loader tractor there that reaches up pretty high, then you can get the grabbers and go ahead, and the hay cruiser is running the bales off the field to the farm, and then one man could do a good job of doing that and get it done. Two people could make a shit ton of hay in a short amount of time because the baler's baling, the hay cruiser's cruising, you're bringing it into the barn, into the building, which you should already have. If you don't have one, rent one. Plenty of empty vacant farm buildings around, at least here. And yeah, get it stacked in there and then get it moving. Don't hold on to it. No point holding on to it. Oh, yeah. What's this? Would it be worth fire up your wood sawmill and start cutting timber? Well, I did. I just didn't put it online. I gotta tell you something. I'm gonna tell you all here right now. If you're here and you're privileged enough to be watching this video, you notice I'm not doing a lot of videos anymore. I used to put out a video every day. You know, this is what we're doing. This is what we're gonna do. You know, tearing shit apart, putting stuff together, you know, whatever. I did it every day. Then it got to the point where it wasn't paying to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm not really in it for the money because, to be fair, there's no money in YouTube right now. Right now, there's just no money in it. I enjoy doing it. That's why I do it. But the real problem that I have with YouTube isn't the money, isn't YouTube. It's people out there in YouTube land. You know, YouTube land. I show what I'm doing, and next thing, they're doing the same thing and undercutting what I'm doing. So, mushroom barns, and I'm not complaining. It's a fair market, free market. Do what you want in your life, and if you want to believe a 53-year-old guy that what I did and made money at for all those years was good, and you take that risk and you do it, just remember, you're flooding the market. You are flooding the market. So the mulch business right now is, in my opinion, it's dead. Okay? There's enough marginal land out there. Oh, I'm getting warm. There's enough marginal land out there that you can get for free, buy a piece of shit baler, piece of shit rake, piece of shit tractors, and go out, and a piece of shit mower, and go out and make, say, 500 acres of hay, specifically for the mushroom barns or for the composters. And that's what has happened. I have met now on this channel, not on this channel, but at 2 different mushroom barns, 3 different mushroom barns, no less than 8 guys that started doing mulch hay because of me. So right now, I'm shut down. They will not accept any hay coming into the one farm that I take into. They're done with it. They're like, we got too much. Nothing for February. Nothing for February. Okay. What's that mean? It means for till March 3rd, till March 3rd, I cannot take 1 bale of hay into the composter. That's what that means. So, yeah, those 8 guys that I know of, they could be 20 guys, right? Maybe they're doing 250 acres. Maybe they're doing 1,000 acres. I don't know. But they're coming from all the way up the Canadian border, Pittsburgh, Ohio. A couple guys came in from Ohio. I thought that was amazing. And they've made it so that there's an abundance of hay on the market. And I can't blame them. But the mushroom growers and the composters, they're not paying for it. They're not paying for it. So that's that. That is that. So now you know why I'm not posting videos on what I've been doing. I got a lot of plans and I got a lot of problems, and I have to work through them all because I think that I've created my own problems, which is fine. I'll deal. But yeah. So what do you do? Right? What do you do? Post everything you do online so somebody else can steal it from you? I lost ground. I lost farmland because of my YouTube channel. And I'm not talking 10 acres. I'm talking a couple hundred acres. They knew where the ground was. They went out and counted the bales that were out there. They knew that it was good hay. And they went in and they took it away from me. Yeah, hundreds of acres. Now, fortunately, I've been able to get some, I can't say I get it back, but I got replacement ground. And the replacement ground is hammered. And it's expensive to get it back up and running. And, it's just one thing after the other. So, I don't know what this YouTube channel is going to turn into or whether it just fades into darkness like this video has done. But I just can't show everybody what I'm doing anymore because there's people out there, and no fault of their own, they don't have any original ideas. So they go and they go after what I'm doing. And yeah. So that's that, right? That's that. And now I'm back up at the farm. So I'm out of breath because talking and walking is very difficult. Which is fine because my wife's got a real nice dinner for me when I get home. Yeah. Real nice dinner for me when I get home. I can get 12,000 bales in that old barn. You're right. I know I can. I knew it before I posted the first video. Yep, I did. And that's that. Whew. Little bales of alfalfa went for $10.50 today at Hackettstown. No shit. That's not enough. It wasn't any good. I didn't make it up there. I just had too much shit going on. I was gonna go. I got dressed to go, and then all hell broke loose. So that's what I ended up doing. So I'm back at the truck. Hey, my battery's still alive. I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I can keep this thing going a bit. Whew. That's it. That was a good walk. Over a mile, probably a mile and a half. I don't know. You see, I've been in my truck. Yeah. I've been in my truck a lot lately. So, the semi truck. I'm just not getting enough exercise. And I loaded up some hay today. I fixed that muffler and made a bunch of phone calls. Oh, let me turn that on so you can see my. And there you go. Okay, alfalfa bales in Australia, 25 retail. Right. Yeah, so Hackettstown's a hit and miss auction. If you got marginal stuff, you get $10 for it, $5 for it, you're happy. But don't take anything good in there because you'll always be disappointed. There's not enough buyers that are willing to pay. There's not enough competition to make the price jump. I do have some alfalfa left, and I think well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. But if I tell you what I'm going to do with it, somebody else will do it, and I'll lose out. I'm tired of losing out. So y'all are just going to have to deal with what I give you. That's all. Comments? Travis Eby? What about any comments on Travis Eby? What's the matter with Travis? What's wrong with Travis? Wait a minute. Have you seen the video where Travis Eby mocking your dirty elephant? What dirty equipment? He was mocking my dirty equipment? He's allowed. What do I care? My equipment's dirty. Who cares? Let's see, what's this one say? When I go to the auction here in Milton, I tell them what I want. They don't pay. We have enough customers now. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's, the auction's a stepping stone. A stepping stone to different things. You can get customers. The thing I like about the auction is you go in, you get a good check. You get a good check, and that's it. We did good with the alfalfa going out there. Could have done better if I sold it locally, but I hate horse people, right? I hate horse people. But I think I'm going to be forced to deal with them just because. Just because. I think I'm going to be forced to deal with them. But it is okay. I'm going to plant another 50 acres of alfalfa this spring because, just because. I'm a glutton for punishment. Hopefully I don't have a problem where we get rained on alfalfa, but I got a plan for that too. It's just going to cost me $12,000, and I think we're going to go with that anyway if I can come up with that money, because I'm pretty disgusted. I mean, actually, I got to tell you, Eric Moser was right about 10 years ago. He came on and said the mushroom mulch hay business is dead 10 years ago, but you know what? I can honestly tell you that it is not going to be my mainline business any longer, because I am not going to give away the remaining working days of my life to a mushroom company that doesn't give a shit enough to tell new people that are coming in that they can't flood the place, um, and allow the guys that have been coming in there to just continue to come in like they're supposed to. Because it's fucking us over. It is fucking so bad it's not even funny. Now, unfortunately, I am not here. I don't have the money to do it. I just don't. And I mean, I'm honest with everybody. I don't have the money to do it. I'll tell you, I don't have the money to do it. What am I going to do? I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the Philippines. I'm going to have a bunch of unfinished work done here, and what? Sit there and worry about my unfinished work. Hopefully, we get going. And I'll tell you, when they allow me to go back into that mushroom barn or the composter, I'm gonna haul it in. I'm just gonna tell them, look, you're taking this fucking shit. You bought it. It's under contract. That's the other thing. I got a contract for this shit, and then they're gonna jerk me off. That's wrong. Yeah, I mean, money just isn't. Money farmers right now. You know that bridge loan that they're calling? Donald Trump is giving us all a bridge loan. It's not a loan. They're giving us this money. That's just going to pay down debt. That's all. Pay down debt. Nobody's got extra money in their pockets. I don't care who you are. If somebody comes on here and says, "Oh yeah, I did really good this year," you're lying. You know, you might have had a good yield, but you still got to pay that inflated fertilizer cost, inflated parts bill, the inflated fuel bill, inflated trucking, inflated everything, and we're still getting what, $4 or $5 a bushel for our corn. I mean, there's guys out west that are getting $4.30. Fortunate to be getting more than that, but I haven't sold any. So it's sitting in there because I feel the price is going to go up. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Yeah, no, yeah, I would love to be in the Philippines. Now, my wife is going to go in April. She's going to visit friends in April. I would love to go, but it's not just it's not just me. You know, if I was to go, big deal. I can do it on a $2,000 budget because I'm cheap. My wife, it's going to take her for the same. She likes to do things that I could do without, and it's just different. We're different people, but of course it's her home country, and she wants to see her friends and treat them and all that stuff. For me to go to the Philippines, I mean, I could just the round trip ticket's going to be what, 11-1200 bucks. If I went there for 15 days, I could do that for for about $3,000 for 20 days. 3,000. You know what? I'm wrong. Last year we did 21 days on $3,500. 21 days, 30, and we went. I mean, we did stuff. We spent money. I thought it was great. You know, I thought, man, we're gonna. I have gone to the Philippines and spent as much as $7,000, but that was on different things. I mean, we took plane trips and did crazy stuff. But we've got William now, so we don't do the crazy stuff anymore. We just do what we do, and that's just life. But anyhow, I'm home now, and I know this live stream was a spontaneous live stream, but I'm really hungry because I'm hungry, and I just took that walk, which is I got to tend the fire, and I got to go to bed early because I got a job I got to do early tomorrow morning. Me and Timothy are going to do that, and we should be okay. Hopefully everything goes well, and I get home tomorrow and look for another one, go another place. But anyhow, I guess I'm going to sign off now if I can figure out how to do it because I'm not used to doing YouTube lives. Oh, Maybe I'll just hold on a second. I'll pull in here and then I'll talk for a minute because I got to read some comments. I'm sure there's some lovely comments on here telling me that my wife, Taiwan boy, I love hearing that. You know, it's like, boy, I'd be a billionaire if she was because we'd have a baby. You know. I just spent $550 for shears and shins for the piece of shit 2700 plow that I need to use this year, but don't want to. Well, I wouldn't use it. And sell that fucker. What do you think about house prices? I don't need to worry about a house price because my house, obviously, or fortunately, my house is paid for, and the other house is getting pretty good. So, hey, that's always good to see. Ice cream? What? Do anything? What the heck, Joe Marshall? What are you talking about? Payless always good. I think you're using voice chat. You must be using voice chat because hey Wes is what I could get at it. Anyway, and it's always good watching your live stream, not ice cream. I think that's what it meant. All right, how much did you upgrade? Not much. Not really a lot. I don't remember. It's been years. I made money on it. When I sold that thing, I made money on it. I'm not gonna lie. I should buy 4910s and revamp them and make them sing like that one does because that baler worked really good. Really good. But anyways, going in the house. Have a nice night. Let's see. Hold on here.